So, welcome everybody to another edition of Balm to the Soul. I'm your host, Natasha Joy Price, and I'm an energy therapist, an author, and of course, a podcaster. And today we've got a new guest with us, and that is Jeanette Wilson. So, welcome, Jeanette. Thank you for supporting the podcast.
Oh, I'm excited to be with you, Natasha. I think you're doing wonderful work.
Oh, thank you. Well, likewise, and we're going to talk about that. So, Jeanette is a teacher and a spiritual healer, and she helps people awaken to their full potential. She's got 4 published books. Her first book was Medium Rare. She's also got a self-published ebook out at the moment, A Little Light on Self-Healing. And she's had her own TV series in New Zealand, Israel, and Italy, and on Sky TV. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that was a very exciting time in my life, and I'm looking forward to doing more TV, hopefully quite soon.
And people can watch your healing sessions. You put your videos up on YouTube and Vimeo, and they can watch and see what you do, can't they?
They can, yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us about this. How did this all sort of start? Did it happen spontaneously, or how did it all come about?
Right. So, if you'd spoken to me at the age of 30, none of this had happened.
Right.
So, at the age of 29, I was a manager for Lloyd's Bank, based in different places, but I'd worked in Leeds, York, and I was back in Leeds when I had my spiritual awakening. So, at the age of 31, I was at Regent's College. I was doing a course in NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. And on that course, there was an experience I had where we were working to uncover blocks within us. And one of the blocks I had was that I didn't like asking anybody for help. I was in a very male-dominated environment, the bank, and it was seen as a sign of weakness to ask for help. You've really got to work out how to do it yourself. And there was an experience when a group of my colleagues on this workshop helped me see that not asking for help when you needed it was actually quite dumb.
Mm.
I was on a fool's errand, if you like, thinking I should go through life and never ever ask anybody for help because that was a strong thing to do. And then the very next day I started seeing spirit, and so it was like, well, that was part of the divine timing, because when I started seeing spirit, I needed help big time because I didn't know that existed. So at the age of 31, I started seeing my granddad. Then I saw my grandma, and within 24 hours I was seeing spirits for other people. And before this, I didn't know that was possible. So it was this, epic spiritual awakening that sent me into a tailspin. I started praying like never before because, I didn't want to end up on a psychiatric ward.
No.
Now, as a result of that praying, I got to meet the first of 2 of my guides who have met me physically. And that was done to reassure me that I wasn't losing the plot. But, I'm the age I am now, 63, and I've not heard of other people meeting their guides in the flesh. So that sort of trips me out as well. So on the one hand, I'm reassured by a guide meeting me physically. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, who am I that one of my guides is meeting me physically, so that other people can see him and know I'm not going nuts. Anyway, what this guide said to me at the age of 31 was, you are here as a healer and a teacher. Don't forget the ones that can't see. The ones that can't see will still feel the vibration. Now, at the time, I'm a bank manager for Lloyd's. I haven't done anything spiritual at all. I haven't learned to meditate, nothing. So what does that mean? You're here as a healer and a teacher. Don't forget the ones that can't see. The ones that can't see will still feel the vibration. So I was a little bit, so I went and did a healing course, because if I'm here as a healer and a teacher, I better get a qualification. That's the way my brain worked.
Yeah.
So I went to study with the National Federation of Spiritual Healers, now called the Healing Trust. And I studied with this amazing couple, Jack and Jan Angelo. And they were probably the first truly spiritual people I'd met. Sort of long hair, hippie kind of type, but grounded as well, but really beautiful souls. And so I went on their workshops, and I learnt to meditate, and I learnt how to feel chakras. And then I went back to being a bank manager. I didn't do any of it, because I was a bank manager. And then one day there was a chap that had got terrific back pain, And as luck would have it, I was back at Regent's College on another NLP course. So it's like a year later. I'm back at Regent's College, and this chap says, would you do me some healing for my back? And I said, I know you've got the wrong person. I'm not a healer. He said, no, in the introductions, you said you'd done a course with the National Federation of Spiritual Healers. And I had. So on this course, because being a bank manager is boring, I'd added in that, and I've recently, there you go, I've done a course in healing. Well, I shouldn't have done that because he wanted healing. So I made all the excuses under the sun not to do it, and he was really insistent. So in the end, I agreed. And as he laid down to receive healing, I put my hands over him, I said a prayer, and then a man's voice from behind me said, right, now we teach you how to really heal. And that was it. They took over my body, they took over the client's body. His spine was stretched like he was on a medieval torture rack. His arms were pulled up above his body. He was stretched out, the spine was clicking. I opened an eye. The man's voice from out there said, get out of your head. Now, I didn't know that then, but I now know that when a voice is out there, it's a master, it's at least a 7th level guide. So it's not just a relative in spirit world. It's not a guardian, it's a teacher. Very stern with me. I'd open my eye every now and then when the man moaned, and he'd say, get out of your head. I didn't know how to get out of my head. So I imagined myself stepping gently backwards out my body, and I'd get about 3 steps, then you spring back in, you're on this cord. If I'd severed that cord, I would have died. But I didn't know that then. I know nothing about spirituality, nothing. And I'm having these really, really weird experiences. So then I prayed again, and I met the second of my guides. And he asked me if I accepted the responsibility for what I was here to do. And it's like, I'm 31, I haven't got a clue what you're how can I accept responsibility for something when I don't know what it is? But I said yes. And it's like, well, which part of me said yes? Because my conscious brain is saying, what the hell? And some of your listeners may have that experience where one part of them sort of knows something, but the other part saying, what the hell? I know I need to stay here. I've got to meet somebody. But like, what the hell? Am I going crazy? There's these different parts of us. Part of the spiritual journey is learning to witness each of those parts and make sure that we haven't got the wrong ones in charge. We don't want the tail wagging the dog. So
it's a bit like intuition, isn't it? If you've got a voice that's say in your head, part of you that's saying, I need to do that, then there's a reason beyond your conscious mind that you need to do it.
Mind, and often it's a deep knowing. You can't explain why, but you've just got to do this. And sometimes we just act on that impulse. We're in the car and then we think, what was I going for?
Yes, exactly. Oh, I do that many a time. So you step out of your body when you're healing.
No,
I was going to say, because on your videos you're talking and
I'm in my body all the time.
You are in your body.
I'm not a full trance medium, and I don't think I will ever be without, if there is I've said to Spirit, if there is an advanced soul that needs the body to come in, I'll go out and it can come in. I've said that, but they haven't taken me up on that. So no, I'm here with my consciousness and another soul comes in. So I take full responsibility for what comes out of my mouth. We're in a world now where there are certain things you just can't say, because it would just be wrong, wouldn't it? But, some of the beings working with me, they won't be aware of what our rules are. Like in the UK, you've got the Cancer Act, so we shouldn't offer to treat anybody with cancer, which I think is crazy. But we shouldn't do that. So at my live events, I don't offer to treat anybody with cancer.
No. But if they step forward and they've got other things going on, then you can work on other things.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if I don't know they've got cancer, then that's okay too.
Yeah. So you allow yourself to be a channel, really.
Yes,
then
channel.
They step in and these guides do the work.
That's right.
How many guides do you work with now?
All right. So there are the main 3, which are Dr. Augusto de Almeida, which is a place in Spain, Dr. Oswaldo Cruz, and Jose Valdivino. So in my early videos, it's always Dr. Augusto. Last year on my UK tour, it was mainly Dr. Oswaldo Cruz. He was the surgeon that helped the young man Connor that was paralysed walk again. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I think I
But
have actually. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
viewers can Google on my YouTube.
Yeah.
It's easier to go to YouTube probably than Vimeo, because on YouTube you can look for all healings for backs, or all healings for fibromyalgia, or all
Oh, okay.
healings
Yeah.
for shoulders. And you can Google, you can put in Connor, Connor, and you can see Connor. Connor was a young man that fell 2 stories out of a bedroom window
Mm.
onto his head. He broke his back, and 15 doctors have said you'll never work again. But a good friend of his had seen me doing an event in Lincoln, and this friend was convinced I'd be able to help him. He was more convinced than I was. So when this friend wheels Connor up in the wheelchair to the front, I'm like, oh hell.
Oh,
And
no.
then Dr. Oswaldo Cruz on this side said, this isn't hard. And I'm like, you got to kid me. You're kidding me. You know, he's paralysed. 15 doctors have said you'll never walk again. In 30 minutes he was walking, and in 90
Wow.
minutes he was walking unassisted by anybody.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't even make sense with muscle wastage, you know? How
No,
do we
no.
explain this? You know, we can't explain it, but you see, it's not of this world. The healing is not of this world. My physical body is of this world, but me as a soul, you as a soul, we're not of this world. The body is
Mm.
of this world. And most of what we call conventional medicine, which isn't actually conventional, it's actually the newfangled stuff. The
Yeah.
conventional medicine was healing. It was
The
herbs.
ancient
It
stuff.
was
Yeah.
vibration and
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
And we've lost our way because a few greedy people, mainly the
Mm.
Rockefellers, wanted to make
Mm.
money.
Yes.
And we've been left with this pharmaceutical drug industry. I mean, think about that. It's not a health service, it's
Yeah.
a pharmaceutical drug industry.
Yeah. No,
Mm,
I'm with you on all of that. So I talk about, I always say to people, the energy part of us in our health has been left out of the equation.
yeah,
So we're missing a part of the jigsaw that's our overall holistic health.
we are.
So with what you've experienced and what your guides tell you, is there an energetic part for
Yes,
healing? Is that,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that
there's a
is,
book that I haven't finished writing yet, but I've put in for a book competition, and I'm hopeful I'll win. But yeah, I suspect I won't. I'm a little bit too out there. And it's called The Scared to Sacred Reset. So the number one thing I found is that the body can't heal if we are scared at all, if there's any fear
right.
or anxiety, because
Mm,
that creates an environment for the cells where the cells don't want to open to receive the healing energy, receive the nutrients, receive the oxygen. And so the first thing we need to do is get ourselves out of fight or flight, which is the autonomic
yeah.
nervous system. So we've got to get ourselves or our clients out of that, and then the healing can start. So it's first and foremost.
Wow, I've not thought about that before, but you're right. You
I
sort of,
know
everything shuts down if you're in that absolute terrified state
it's
of, oh my
so
God, what's
it
going to
is
happen?
it's so fundamental. Your
Mm,
immune system is either protecting you from external things like, viruses, the man at the door with the axe, or healing and repairing internally. And so if you're in any kind of stress or worry or anxiety, or the relationship's not good, or you've got financial debts, your body can't heal. It can't.
no, no. So really, people have to find a way of um, sort of dealing with the negative emotions before they can expect to heal from something, if
Yes and
that makes
no.
sense.
It's like
Okay.
yes and no and maybe. So one way is to feel the feeling, disperse it and let it go. The other
Mm,
way is to take your awareness somewhere else, like into the space in the room, the space around the feeling, and start placing your awareness in the stillness. A bit like, if you've got a child that is having a tantrum,
yeah.
what you do is you distract the child. Oh, look at that bright, sparkly thing. Look at this. Oh, look. And the child forgets. Our mind is the same.
Mm,
Yeah, a mind can only think
mm.
about one thing at a time. So if you distract the mind with something else, like the smell of a soap, doesn't that sound wonderful? A sip of coffee.
Yeah.
you know, the breath. If you can do that, you can create a space where the body can heal. But
Ah,
ultimately,
interesting.
but ultimately, we do need to clear some of this stuff. You know,
Yes.
and
So we need
sometimes,
to do the work, don't we,
yeah,
on ourselves energetically?
Yeah, sometimes I will find a client where, I want to do the healing, but they actually need a counsellor as well. I'm not a counsellor. I have had
Mm,
training in that, but that's not how I'm spending my time. And so I'll refer my clients for counselling as well.
yes.
But I also have another modality called emotional reprogramming, which is really challenging the need for counselling, which is quite interesting. So I'm running that as an evening event, but I'm also doing trainer training for that so people can train that modality. It's my own trademark modality and it's really, really powerful. And so, yeah, people can find out
And
about that if they're interested.
what's that called again?
Emotional reprogramming. So
Emotional.
there'll be a book about that as well
Yeah.
before the end of the year, I would say. I'll get that
Wow.
in. It's one of my
Okay.
priorities.
Emotional reprogramming. So that is setting the scene for health, basically.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
that's like
giving
your
you the tools.
foundation.
It's
Mm,
giving you the tools that nobody can push your buttons, pull your strings anymore, so that you
yeah,
don't get triggered anymore. Because
yeah.
imagine what your life was like if you never got triggered.
I know, fabulous.
Yeah,
Calm,
actually, Natasha,
peaceful.
if you just excuse me, I'll just grab something. I want to show you something.
Yes, do.
Right. Oh. So at my live events, I've started travelling around with an orange. All right, and the
Mm,
reason why Wayne Dyer, that died a few years ago, bless his soul,
mm,
he was enlightened. Wayne Dyer, I don't have any doubts there. But one of his teachings was he'd go onto stage with an orange, and now he isn't here anymore. Nobody's doing that, and so I'm taking this up as a memory to Wayne Dyer. And what he'd do is he'd say to the audience, "Now, if I squeeze this orange, what will come out of it?" And he'll pick on a kiddie and he'll say, "What will come out?" And the kiddie will say, "Juice." "What kind of juice?" "Orange juice." "Oh, I can't get apple juice out of this." "No." "Can't get lemon juice?" "No." "Why not?" "Because it's an orange." And then he'd say, "Well, what comes out of you when you get squeezed?" And sometimes it's a bit of tears, sometimes a bit of frustration, it's a bit of anger. And towards the end of his life, he was saying that his aim was that no matter what happened in life, all that would come out of him was divine love. And I just
wow.
love that teaching. It's like,
Yeah,
so I carry this around with me now to remind me that when I get squeezed, that's what I want to come out of me, divine love.
yes. So
Because then I know I've done my
we've got to
work.
clear everything else to
Yeah,
enable that to happen.
yeah,
Excellent. Yeah, that's it's a really lovely analogy. I loved Wayne Dyer.
yeah.
He is an amazing soul, as you say. So you're going back to your guides then. So we've got this base, we've got this foundation. We have to do that clearing. But when the guides come in, they're not working on emotional stuff. They are actually working on your soul essence, on your energy, on your
Right.
what do they actually work on?
So when the guides come in, they tell me they never try and fix. Trying to fix is the ego. Yeah, so as a
Right.
healer, if we try and fix, we will disconnect ourselves from the divine
Mm,
energy. Now, within the body, we've got a body's wisdom. Your body is breathing for itself, it's maintaining body temperature, it's maintaining pH. This already is a very intelligent system that is beyond our minds.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And anybody
absolutely.
that knows about kinesiology, muscle testing, will know that often the body knows what the mind doesn't know yet. I
Mm,
think it was Candice Pert that said that the body is the unconscious mind, and on some level she might be right, and on some level you could probably disagree with that as well. But I sort of get the gist of what she's saying, that the body knows things that the mind doesn't. So when the advanced beings come in, they are a super high vibrational frequency energy, which is why they're beings of light. And sometimes we capture them on film, which is really, really good. And we've just captured them at my last event at the Harry Edwards Centre. We've got
oh, fascinating.
3 different beings of light are on the picture with the students. So they don't try and fix, they just bring in higher consciousness energy. Now your cells at a basic level feel that high frequency energy and think, "Oh, that feels nice." Just like you or I would, you'd think, "Oh, that person's got nice energy, I'll hang out with them." And
Mm,
as your cells start feeling their higher vibrational energy, they're letting go of what it is they were holding on to.
okay.
So they
Mm,
will be clearing on all levels, on thoughts, emotions, whatever gets released, because the cells are thinking, "Oh, I want some of that."
yeah.
And that's how the healing takes place. But what you're doing
Mm,
is you're linking the individual's body wisdom with the divine which we all have access to, but we've forgotten.
Yeah. So they're bringing them completely back into balance in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Yeah. And linking them up to the divine as well.
yeah. And it's beyond mind. It's not about wanting to be well. It's not about battling the cancer. It's about allowing, being very, very
Yes.
fully present and allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to release.
Yeah. Fascinating. I find it all very fascinating. Have you ever tried to research your guides? Have you ever thought, have they ever
I
been, incarnated on Earth?
Yes. So
Yes.
Dr. Augusto, he was incarnate about 200 years ago, as was Dr. Oswaldo Cruz. But people ask me, but it's like it's totally immaterial. All that matters is the
Mm.
quality of their consciousness now. All
Yeah.
that matters is this person in front of me receiving this healing. It's a bit like the fact I was a bank manager. It's neither here nor there. The fact I was born in Sheffield. It's neither here nor there. What
Doesn't make
matters
any
is
difference.
it
Yeah.
doesn't make any difference, does it?
No.
And,
No.
and so I think what happens is in these flesh forms, in this incarnation, and I always remind people that incarnation is, think of chili con carne, chili with meat. Incarnation in this in meat vessel. There are three aspects to us. That there's the flesh form, there's the thoughts and the feelings, and then there's the spirit. And those three aren't equal. Your flesh form's
No.
only going to live a certain number of years, 90, 95 if you're lucky. Your thoughts and your feelings, they don't linger long at all. Your thought can be fleeting, a feeling might linger for a while and then it goes. What is it we're paying attention to? We're paying attention to the wrong things. We should be paying attention to the stillness, that part within us that is unchanging, and that's meditation. But we're not taught to meditate, we're taught to be in our heads. And so we're taught to mentally label things rather than just perceive things, which would be in a state of awareness and oneness. We're taught, oh, that's a lamp, that's an electric lamp. I don't like the look of that lamp. Our mind immediately judges, compares, do we like it or not? And then there's a clenching of the energy field if we don't like it, and there's a relaxing if we do like it. And we've been programmed to be in mind, which is the most fleeting. It's more fleeting
Yeah.
than the feelings, it's more fleeting than the physical body. We've got it the wrong way around. And we need to tune ourselves into the stillness, the space in the room. It's always going to be there. This room, this hotel room that I'm in, might not always exist, but the space will always be here. This flesh form will always be here, but the consciousness that I am will always be here. So that's the bit I've got to focus on. And
Yeah.
the more I am aware of myself as consciousness, then you automatically can connect with those higher beings, and healing's then easy. There's no struggle, there's no effort, we're not in ego, and it's quick.
Yeah. Amazing. I love that. So at the moment you are on tour in the
I am.
UK. So where are you next? Where are you?
Right. At the moment, I'm in Coventry, so I'm in Coventry tomorrow night. Then I'm in Stoke. Next week, I'm in Birmingham. Most of my weekend healing events are happening at the Harry Edwards Centre because I visited there last year, and I just, within the previous month or so, I'd just come back from Lourdes in France, where
Oh wow.
Saint Bernadette witnessed Blessed Mother. And that's a beautiful place, and the energy is amazing. And I walked into the Harry Edwards Sanctuary, and I just cried. And I didn't cry at Lourdes, and I realised, okay, the energy here is
That's
higher
lovely.
than at Lourdes.
Yeah, wow.
And then the first night I was there, my guides came in and said, do you want to live and work here? And I'm like, well, I haven't been offered that yet, but do you want to live and work here? And I live at the beach in New Zealand. Do you want to live and work here? And it's like, yeah, I do. If I can be in this energy, it's going to benefit me.
Mm.
And it also benefits my students. And so my workshops now have gone next level because we actually run the workshops in the sanctuary, not in a classroom,
Lovely.
but actually in the
Yeah.
sanctuary where Harry healed, and Harry comes through as well. And so it's the most amazing experience. And so most of my workshops are taking place there. And then I'm just going around the place, like I'll read out some of the places I'm going, just doing evening events to let people know I exist, basically. I'm going to Bedhampton on the 2nd of July, Southend on the 6th of July, Ipswich on the 7th, Chelmsford on the 9th, Thurrock on the 13th, and that's as many as we've got in so far. And then everything else is at the Harry Edwards Centre, which is in Sheer near Guildford. And then I've got a couple of events down in Devon right at the end of my tour at a beautiful place called Lupton House, again, high energy place.
So your Ipswich one, whereabouts in Ipswich is it? Do you know?
Um, I haven't had the venue confirmed. I believe we've approached the Quakers Meeting House there, but I don't know if it's confirmed yet, that one. But
Oh,
it's
because
in my diary in pencil.
that's very close to me.
Ooh,
I might have to I might have to come and say hello. Um,
excellent.
Obviously this episode will go out straight away because then people can come along and see you. So how would they get tickets? Is it all on Eventbrite or
No,
something
it's
similar?
through my website. Eventbrite
Website.
charge too much.
Oh,
You
so
get all
through the
kinds of
website.
ticket fees. So it's through my
No.
website, which is jeanettewilson.co.uk. Now, my main
Okay.
website, if people want a private Zoom call with me or they want a reading, I do clairvoyant readings, mediumship readings, as well as healings. That's jeanettewilson.com because normally I'm in
Right.
New Zealand. But
Yeah.
when I'm in the UK, I have to put everything through my UK website because we need to pay this wonderful thing called VAT.
Okay, that's lovely. I will put that under the episode. So, finally, Jeanette, what is, I mean, you're doing all this healing, it might be irrelevant, but I always ask my guests what they do spiritually, or one thing that they do spiritually every day to sort of keep them really centered and balanced.
I'm going to share two things. All right.
Okay.
So be grateful, you know, be
Yeah.
grateful for whatever is happening in your life. Even if you think, believe that it's all happening for you. That's number one,
Mm,
if you like. But then even higher than that, for me, is love God. And I'm not
yeah.
with any religious, I believe God is present everywhere, invisible. God stands for generating, operating, dissolving system that we're all a part of. Just love God with all your heart,
Mm.
and be of service, and we'll have peace on earth. That's what I believe.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, on those words of wisdom, thank you very much, Jeanette. It's been
My
lovely to chat
pleasure.
to you. You might see me again now that I know you're in Ipswich. I might be down there to watch your show. So if you've enjoyed listening to Jeanette and I, please like and share. You can also support and subscribe to the podcast, and I will speak to you all soon.